Right now, I know the energy is tense. It's got me tense, and I need to be organized inside. So once you realize you need to be organized inside, take your daily meditation and begin to say, help me see how to organize inside. And there are going to be things that present itself, because if it's family, friends, co-workers, there's going to be those situations these are going to arise. They're going to arise because now is your time for you to ask yourself, what are the options and who's being pleased? Sometimes we enter ourselves in our pleasure mode. In the pleasure mode, it don't take for the fire sign to be there in the pleasure mode, because the sun is a fire energy. Leo runs the sun. So your alchemy, your sun sign in Leo is already there. So pleasure is automatic when it comes to what the sun represents in our natal chart. So the pleasure is already there. So who is receiving the pleasure out of this? So if you feel like the pleasure needs to be to speak your mind, then why you not obtaining your inner peace off of speaking your mind? Because in your organization, it's coming up that speaking your mind is hindering you in your inner peace. So you might need to reevaluate the speaking the mind part. And sometimes you have to also understand, when you go into these meditations and you seek an inner peace, this inner peace isn't a now thing. It's a future energy. It's not a present. So hello everybody, I am back. Okay, I'm back with now part 2 of the video. Okay. So I'm going to start off with my first deck, which is the Tarot Dragons. That's going to be the Oracle deck right here, Divination of the Ancients. Okay. I'm going to pull the Oracle card to be a guide, and then the Tarot cards to follow up to tell the story. So like I said, Jupiter retrograde, if you looked at part 1. Jupiter retrograde is coming up, and it's all about preparing. This video right here is on eye level. How do we look for the signs of the things of the shifting energy? Okay, this is to guide us through the signs of it. This is not so much, if anything come up to reference, I would translate whatever message the way I'm supposed to. But this is just here for guidance and to help us out as we walk through this transition, through this revelation at this point in time. Okay. All right. Hello, universe. How you doing? You doing pretty good. And to let y'all know before this begins, I am in the process of trying to create my own website, and getting a little bit update on how to edit videos and stuff, so my website would look nice and all of that kind of stuff right now. So I am busy occupying myself with that. And as I get closer to publication and I'm completing it, I will be posting snippets. And yes, my website going to be very interesting. Can't wait to get up, and I will make a video about everything and how it would be set up as I get closer to the making. Alright, now let's go back to it. Hey universe, I'm posting this on the YouTube platform. And you know how that goes. So, this is all about the Jupiter retrograde. Can you give us guidance through this energy right here? Now I start off with one Oracle card at this present time. I'm thinking about coming and get at least 3 Oracle cards out of this deck. I got 3 separate tarot decks to see. I'm just going to go and examine how you take me through this course of advice. Alright? So right now, I'd like to start off with one oracle card. What is a sign that we can look for when it comes to this Jupiter retrograde that's about to begin soon in a matter of days? Okay. I had to get a little bit more comfortable. Alright. Can we reconnect to the Jupiter retrograde preparation? Can you give us some signs for me to translate a message with to help us out as we walk through life? Alright. Here's our first one. Only thoughts to me. Maybe omen. That's a big word right there. I guess up with interpreting bird actions to predict the future and outcome of decisions. That is a Greek word. And it was practiced in many cultures, Greek and Roman, as a part of their augur practices, which involve observing the behavior of birds to receive omens. So, and I did a Google search. I didn't even pull out the book. Okay. So here we go. Like I was speaking in itself in nature. So in nature, within is now moving into the revelation stage to merge the revolution and the evolution in itself, right? It's saying right now, let's pay attention to the birds. Who is a bird watcher? Since it brought this up, and this is one of the cards, let's see, over a week ago, I was in Walmart shopping. So this Walmart, they done changed up too. Like I've been telling people, changes so much everywhere. I know that the earth is going through this revelation. Like I'm walking in department stores who's changing the structure. Like changes everywhere. Okay. I walked into my grocery store last night and they reconfiguring. They got the people in reconfiguring late at night, moving products around. Changes everywhere. So back to the point I was making. I was up in this Walmart and I walked past and there's this big bag of peanuts and I look. And because I love feeding my squirrels and stuff out here. And I be buying the peanuts from the grocery store. So I saw this big bag. I say, but let me grab it and just see how much it costs. Now, I didn't pay attention to all the pictures that was on the front. But it had birds and everything. Like, it was peanuts for... It said chipmunks instead of squirrels and birds and everything. So the chipmunk caught me because I was like, oh, so you're saying down in my region they call chipmunks instead of squirrels. Now, how many people would honestly get into a debate to me on what the difference is about a chipmunk or a squirrel? So what I'm trying to say is when we talking about an omen, and I'm going to pull out my little handy book. I'm not going online to verify, but I'm going to pull out my book right here. Okay. So, it says on the 3rd, Gemini. Oh, I said Cancer, didn't I? Mars is in Cancer. I must have been talking to my Mars. Sorry, y'all. Jupiter is in Gemini. I don't know why I said Cancer. Mars is in Cancer. Oh, maybe because of the video I got messed up with. But that's why I posted my other video. So, Jupiter in Gemini at 21 degrees, 16 seconds, right? So, also on the day, let's see if we have anything going on. Okay, they say Jupiter has a trine with the moon. So we're talking about birds and like I brought it down. So we're talking about in this trine. So when I brought that bag, it was for $13 and some change. Dang, I wish I had a receipt, because now I'm trying to figure out, is that where Proverbs 13 came from? Because I didn't pull out the book. I went straight to Google, because I guess, like I said, people could Google. Now, I Google. I didn't use my book. And I just Googled this word instead of the word omen. So it's saying from the Romans and Greeks. So it is comparing retrograde energy for sure. So let's talk about, like I said, when we're making these decisions right here. Do you believe you got Roman and Greek in your blood? I mean, no matter what color you are on the outside of it. I don't know how many of y'all done Ancestry.com. So this is what I'm saying about the omen. The omen is... omen could also be lack of a knowledge that you have too. Okay. When it comes to birds, what is your belief when it comes to birds? Is there certain birds that you connect with? What about the birds that's at the zoo? You think it's injustice? Do you think birds have more power over humans? Now, what the Bible say, they was created first. So do you think sometimes that's why people had certain problems they have in their leg? Do you think if it wasn't for the animals learning how to heal themselves, and as we populated and transformed and they reincarnated? Because, I mean, if you go through a taxidermy or look at the creation of a human, we have gills. That's why we could swim. Like, we are so compatible with animals, you know. So in this compatibility of it, where does it fall for you? So with it being in Gemini, let's get on track, because I say it Cancer and talking about it picking, but I'm not saying that Jupiter won't eventually get a Cancer, but I'm just saying that I probably got influenced a little bit, and I know that my trigger was right, so that's why I'm doing what I'm doing. So let me get some tarot cards. All right. So what about this omen here? How is this connection going? What is the next way to continue this translation of this interpretation of this oracle card? What is 3-card message that help me further in this guidance? 3-card message to help me further in guidance. So yeah, like I was about to say, you know, some people say some people have bird legs. What about when people say men have a rooster chest? So is this a sign that this is somebody that's supposed to be in your life? Is it a sign that y'all energies need to cross for a second? That is just, are y'all just helping the stars, the asteroids navigate? Did you see it on a TV show? Was you entertaining your kid? How many different ways did you keep up with the focus of the omen that's cooking in your head? So we have the Tower card that then came out. I have 2 more cards, please. This Tower is pretty. So yeah. So what about as we event things, do you think I create a process like cameras? I'm using a camcorder. Now I could do, you know, the fast click and stuff and take pictures real quick and all of that. So what about if I do that? Is that a Tower moment? So when it comes to a bird, how you do some of us to progress to the new. Say you empathic, say you a starseed, and there's so many more names. But just say you know genuinely, without a label being there, genuinely within your characteristics, you might just be a caring type of person. You just might want to be helping people out, right? So what is clicking are the things that's moving so fast. You know, do you think that interaction, maybe walking past somebody that had a bird chest, but you won't directly saying in your head, oh, they got a bird chest, but what compares to a person that got a bird chest? They go past, and then it might be somebody that got a kid in a stroller that's playing with a big bird, and you just look and you keep on going. And then you go and you on the pet owl because you're trying to get maybe to something on a different owl, but you're going past a pet owl, and then you see bird food that's sitting right there. And then you get all the way home just to sit there and say, I forgot this. I forgot that. And you might just, you now you're boiling down to reactions of, do I need it right now? Am I going back to that same store? Am I going to wait till later? Am I going to change what I wanted to do? All of those things now is causing a whole chain reaction. You went through a chain reaction unconsciously. You walked the path of a chain reaction, but consciously you was not focused on those items. And then your subconscious, after it obtained all the data that it data from you, and then it comes back to your conscientious mind, which now the only reason you forgot something because you won't focus on those omen signs. And the real true omen is, it was meant for you to forget it. Now, do you need to check your attitude to see why you're mad that you forgot it? If you have that, I mean, now is that moment. So that's just a human level of a tower moment, right? I have 2 more cards. And see, in a Roman, a Greek way, if you was in this one department store and you pushing a cart, the thing that makes it even transform into the now and the now manifestation, because Roman and Greek started chariots with horses and different stuff like that. So they was in a cart too. And they had their hands, but the horse was pulling them. But instead of the horse pulling you, you don't see the horses pulling you. You pushing the cart. So could this situation be also in a forgetfulness? Who's in control of the situation here? So when we're talking about it, you could have went home and maybe your memory might make you feel like you're out of control. It might be triggering fear. So let's get to the point of the tower moment. You know what I'm saying? So now we had a Hermit card. Basically what I already went through. Right? Hermit just giving me a little bit more confirmation. And then we have the 4 of Cups. Alright? So the Tower came out. Now that's just on a basic level. Okay? Now, like I was talking on a social economical level, if you're going out to vote, the Tower moment goes to what I was saying. It don't matter. The universe is already in control. So to bind these supernatural predictions in a overlapping level way, they still on the same path. They just on different levels of the pathway of visual perspective, right? So when I say it doesn't matter that the fact whoever going to win is going to win by the universal demand. It's just on the fact that, for real, all just aside, when you was pushing that cart going to look for everything that you was looking for, it doesn't matter that it was not in a Roman Greek start. Does it matter that you didn't have a horse pulling you all the way? Does it even matter that you weren't paying none of those objects no attention? Does it matter? So when we're talking about the energetic flux of an omen within this Jupiter retrograde, they're going to run in a proper sequence. So if it's in a trine, right now the energy is trining in this way. So you're moving through your pit stops. Okay, so that it doesn't matter. Then the vibration that's coming off the trine also depends on the other connections that Jupiter may have that I don't have knowledge of. This is just a connection with the moon. And being if it does have this connection with the moon, and I don't know the day, but if there possibly is a solar eclipse coming up, that means that connection is going to get bound with the sun. So you're talking about many ways the trine format could come out. So that's why we're talking about the hermit. Okay? The hermit that's sitting right here is so beautiful, right? What is the main focus? Like I said, when it came to voting, when you voting for your pathway. So these things are running spontaneously, just like this example is. So the omens, how are you going to see the omens? Are they going to matter to you? And when will you pay attention to the omen? When it at all? Okay, that's what a hermit rides in. So that you're talking about the big power energy, these major arcanas, right? And then we come down to the Four of Cups. So what was the Four of Cups? You continue the whole time, like you walked past the person that had the bird chest in one cup. You walked past the baby that was in the stroller that had the bird box, that had the little big bird. You walked past the pet owl that had the bird food on it. And what did you do? You kept going in the direction that you felt you needed to get your products in. So I feel like the example I gave was great confirmation because that's how the Four of Cups is working. Okay, it's not always about, now you're talking about having the lack of not having a decision. Once again, that goes with the revelation that we are walking in as the compression of the revolution and the evolution is transpiring. That's a choice that you don't have an option of. And when based on your consciousness, just like they say, you know, typically it's read like, you forgetting something. You forget to get this. You focus on all this other stuff. So now that I put it in this example, what was so bad that you won't focus on the baby that had the big bird, the person that you walked past that had the bird chest? What when you walked past the owl that had the bird food? What was so bad about any of that? Nothing, because you got what you wanted. So being distracted or needing to have those distractions, once again, we're talking about a compressor energy where we're walking into a revelation. And this is the way that they're giving me the advice to help you understand the revelation that's occurring. So like I said, when you forgot something in the grocery store, does it matter on a social political form? No, it doesn't. It does and it don't. It does in your personal life. Because that's what happened. You personally forgot about whatever you forgot to get. You didn't intentionally forget to do it. You personally forgot to do it. Okay? So that's one example right there. And the shadow card here is the Seven of Wands. Okay? It's just like picking your poison, like I said. In the spiritual rise, and I wish I knew the total amount of that bird food right now, but I know it was $13 for sure. It just has some change on it. I want to say maybe I'm hoping it's 94. Oh man, instead of 13.24. But the 13 was there, so you know what I'm saying. Should I be mad about the way that my clues broke down and how long and how spaced apart they was? Like, I went and got the food over a week before I posted a video, and I'm making this video and not posting the other video. Doesn't matter. That would cancel culture. So let me give you an example with it. Seven of Wands, picking my poison. It shouldn't matter. Okay? So look for those episodes, whether we want to call them glitches, mindfulness, or whatever it might be. And I'm going to get one more example. I got a little bit more time. I'm willing to stretch for one. All right. Now I have this last and final oracle card as an example to help with guidance as this Jupiter retrograde begins. Oh, this is my baby right here, numerology. This is my baby. So the shadow card to conclude, look at this. Geomancy, patience. I want to know why they got geomancy as patience though. Let me Google search this geomancy, make sure I'm understanding it right. Because patience is a good way. And yeah, I'm tweaking my cards compared to when I didn't have this deck for a long time, but I'm into this vibe of an energy, you know what I'm saying? The art of placing or arranging buildings or other sites auspicious. Divination from configuration seen in a handful of earth thrown on the ground, or by interpretation lines and textures of the ground. So y'all can Google search it. Now they say patience. Now I understand why they have patience from the Google definition, right? Because this revelation going to require patience. It's talking out in the shadow world of this all and saying divination from configuration. Seen in a handful of earth thrown on the ground, or by interpreting lines or textures on the ground. Now imagine some people who got a lawn care business right now. They out here telling different people what kind of seeds to plant, what kind of grass. Think about all the construction work. They out here talking about what grass they're going to lay in, how they're going to sit here and put the dirt, what they're going to lay back down, how they're going to begin this. Just think about all of that. Not only that, even we come from ashes to ashes, dust to dust. Everything began on this planet. So when I'm saying Earth is going through a revolution and a evolution merger, and we walking through a revelation, it came out and said it's the divination of the configuration. It is the handful of the earth that's thrown on the ground. So these planets are working together with it. So what are the tools that they give us? Numerology. We have time. We have when we driving a car, a moped. I think the only thing we might be lucky on is a bicycle. The only thing that don't have speed thermometer, so you could check and see how fast you riding on that bike. Unless you got an exercise bike that's in your house, and then that's going to tell you. But just a regular bike, they really don't come up there with it like that. So, numbers is always all over the place. Even when these lawn care people out here, you think they ain't going by how many inches that dirt need to sit off that ground to understand how they need to lay that grass. Numerology, that's precision. In the industry field, even in automotive fields and everything else, precision and numerology really does count. They say the Arabic culture was for one of the founding cultures to mathematics and science. I don't know how true it is. Me personally, I still be tripping off the fact of how we got to the point we started counting. How do we even get to a point that agree on the same number system format in all these languages? Even though everything began with Jesus born on the year 0, and time was moving backwards, and we supposed to be moving forward. How do we ever get to those, and why do we believe them? If people can't say they don't believe them, whether you believe them indirectly or directly, because numerology is what it is. It's in astrology. You look for your birthday. Numerology is everywhere. You look for it when a child or an animal is born. You start counting. You might say, do they got eyes? But your brain is going what? 1, 2. Your mouth says something else, but your brain going 1, 2. See, that's that divination configuration. So, I'm going to pull out my Urban Tarot, because I like this deck, because I could read it in many ways. And thank you, YouTube. I just want to get that out. I don't say it that often, but for real, thank you for allowing me to post my videos right now at this point in time. It's helping me cope. So appreciate it. Alright, may I have a 3-card clarification? Clarity, let's see. May I have 3 cards to help me continue to translate this message as it relates to Jupiter retrograde in numerology? A 3-card message. Alright, the first one, we have the Queen of this, okay, the Queen of this. Can you see that? I got this light so bright. My bad. There we go. Let me darken this up a little bit. But I messed up with the other cards. For the Queen of this. I'm going to put that right here. And this say the matriarchy. That's the thing about the word earth and God. See, it's like it's so common to hear the word God and your brain just associated with a he, a him type of pronouns. And then when you hear the word earth, it's so easy to associate it with the she, her pronouns. And so when I'm talking about the beginning, this also goes with this numerology, this fucking precision, right? When I'm talking about the LBT, like, we're not going to be able to outrun this. Like, in our consciousness, the clicknified of even embracing words, goddess, divine feminine, divine masculine, all of those ways of consciousness within inside of our own self has a numerology code of interpretation. Like, we automatically could go around one person and they could say the word divine feminine and we can get into a whole type of conversation. We can go to a professor that's in psychology, right? And we go to them and we could say divine feminine and they would go into a whole different type of genre conversation. And your brain is clicking automatically. You're not even really realizing on the precision of the quickness other than your ownership going, oh, let me go see so-and-so. Oh, let me go talk to this person. You're not even realizing how you are literally separating the difference between them, yet you still contain the information of all the different formats. Precision. And that's where, like, the Queen of this energy is at. And when we're talking about this patience, the patience part in this geometry, in the revelations of it, is growth. See, for Earth itself is growth. And how can we not fit in the rhythm or the revelation of growth when we either gonna grow by getting aging, whether we're gonna grow by our mental health or not? And same vice versa. You could go to that same professor and say divine masculine, and it would literally switch the gears of it. You can go to some people and you say it in a tarot community, and they might just automatically go to twin flames. Oh, they started shuffling the cards again. Reconnect. We never lost connection. Oh, okay. We have the Nine of Pentacles gang. Okay, the matriarchy gang. What's the last and final word here? What's the last and final word here? We got some Queen of Pentacles and Nine of Pentacles, and here's the final word. We gained a fool. You know, you know that is some true fact stuff right there. You know, it is so much irony and cynicalness inside of me just to really give this direct interpretation. And it's not because I'm on cancel culture, it's because of the flow of the energy. Okay? Because this is irony and cynical. This message, the matriarchy gained the fool. So let me come to it in the softest, cynical way. On a social, on a basic way, everybody look for freedom. Like, how many people? It took me. I'm gonna come out and be first, and maybe this will help other people in their quiet space if they get a chance to watch this video. For you, be real with yourself. It took me a little minute to understand the difference between freedom and peace. I really honestly believe for a long time freedom and peace was two different things. But freedom and peace is nothing but synonyms and antonyms. For me, I believe in reincarnation. And I even thought in the shoes of people who didn't believe in reincarnation. Because one period of time, I used to see so much weird stuff. And people used to always say they're going to take something to their grave. I didn't believe in reincarnation. For a minute, I was like, okay, I think I need to stop believing. I thought it was wrong for me to believe in reincarnation because of the way they living. But also at that point in time of me going through that stage, I didn't have no consciousness or any awareness of the way that empathic people absorb energy neither. So I was growing up a hot mess inside myself. So this is this Nine of Pentacles that I'm describing. I'm putting myself out here to describe this on how to fool and why it's cynical. Because if you notice now, I'm already telling you the irony in my story. I'm telling you the irony is growing up with different, maybe being told you dyslexia, maybe being told you different, but never a word impacted, never words to guide me, never somebody to sit here and say this is a mental health. But that was the times that I was supposed to come up. And all of us Gen Xers were supposed to come up. Because if we didn't come up that way, we would have never helped Earth create the revolution to the silent generations. See, our grandparents was the silent generation. We was the ones that break in. We brought those kids in this world. And some baby boomers did too. What we call the millennium and disease. And the way they talk and the way they change things. Social media was part of that help within a revolution of Earth. Because now everybody had a place to talk, express themselves, and they felt undisciplined. They didn't feel the diligent. Slowly, cancel culture came in and tried to be the one that spared a child, spoiled a child, but it got corrupted. And it wasn't a bad thing, because we was also going through the stage of I Can and rolling over into the stage of the Founding Fathers. So how in the revolution of Earth itself would know what needs to be there, and how can we get to this point to have a revelation without those episodes that's taking place? And how could the people have an evolution without those moments of expansion of freedom of speech? See, that's that Earth, Queen of Pentacles. With that Nine of Pentacles. The matriarchy gained the fool. So don't get me wrong on it. I'm not trying to make it seem like it's any more traumatized. It's not traumatizing. Because I'm here to heal Earth. And for real, I'm scared of Earth. Earth open up potholes that man be around here putting concrete and stuff on. It'll crack this ground. I'm scared of Earth. So I'm here to help Earth. So the fool is where I'm getting to, right? Because I came back around and like, it is reincarnation. You show me all the time. You show me in spring and you show me in fall. You show me in winter, you show me in summer. You show me through the news when all those animals pop up the shore, but yet we still eating, whether we in poverty or whether we the most richest person in the world. You show me through all the foundations that's corrupted, that pick and choose who they help. You show me through the walking through the valley of the shadow of death. It's the only moment of peace and freedom and free will that can be done is by showing us. Without having levels of poverty, social class groups all around the world. Where would anybody feel free at? Where would that leap of faith be needed to be done at? Honestly. And that's the cynical part of it all. Because you're going to jump. Whether you wake up every day and say, thank you for waking me up, myself, Thank you for waking me up, Source. Thank you for waking me up, my child. Thank you for waking me up, alarm clock. Thank you for waking me up so I can go to work. Thank you for allowing me to work through this day. Thank you for all these haters you introduced me to. Thank you for these trials and tribulations. Whether you're saying it directly or indirectly, every day that you experience life on this earth, you're going to say it. Cynically, ironically, metaphorically, or directly. You're going to say it. Just like you're going to be on your cell phone and you're going to dial somebody's telephone number. And whether that person is your boyfriend, your child, a close friend, your job, that's a personal numerology code that's part of your life. And that code means something. Even the area code means something. That area code functions just like we want to say Jupiter is in Gemini. That's what, the same way the area code function. Jupiter in Gemini astrology form, even if you want to say that's my car parked outside, that area code still function the same way. But then you break down the rest of the digits depending on where you at, it determines something. Because see, some telephone numbers just run together, no dashes. I guess sometimes that's why they think some people are ahead of time or behind time on great ideas, because the way their telephone numbers schedule, even though they never thought about it from that point. So basically, with this Jupiter retrograde, the numerology, even our IQ, come with a number. We got passports, they come with numbers. You're going to take your leap of faith. You're going to do what you got to do. The Hermit. Now, the Hermit was in the last one, wasn't it? Right? It's that stuff on what matters and don't matter and going to your own introspection. Now, the Hermit influenced me on the shadow side to put myself out there. Like I said, I'm scared of Earth. I could keep mine real. So, we are going to help Earth, no matter what label we are. I look at us like red blood cells and white blood cells inside of the planet. It's the reason why we name everything going on around here. We got to name the Earth too. There's a reason why most common things say the consciousness of the universe, whether it comes with a deity to represent it across the country. There's multiple religions, beautiful religions. I get along with all of them. Me getting along with all of them is just like me getting along with the earth and the unknown. Because for real, I don't know what started everything. I don't have an ego like that. And maybe I brought myself down because being what I am, the knowing, I never walk a perfect path. But I know I probably walk a fearful path. So that's the message that I have to help out with getting Jupiter retrograde. And for real, it just depends on what you want. And this message is going to help you out. If you trying to obtain some type of balance of inner peace up inside of yourself, then I would definitely look at my message that I have translated and compare those things that you're trying to achieve. If you're into astrology, get into your astrological projections. Because these moments, start looking for moments where energy begin with where the energy will be intense at. And then look at yourself and figure out where's your intensity at. What do you think when you say you want to accomplish inner peace, when we're talking about the Hermit? when you're saying that you want to accomplish inner peace, what does that inner peace supposed to mean? Like, if you just want to come out and say, I'm just stressed, I feel like I have this pressure and that pressure. Okay, that's not setting inner peace. If you want to really set inner peace, you need to go from the point of saying, I need to get organized inside. And right now, I know the energy is tense. It's got me tense. And I need to be organized inside. So once you realize you need to be organized inside, take your daily meditation and begin to say, help me see how to organize inside. And there are going to be things that present itself, because if it's family, friends, co-workers, there's going to be those situations, these are going to rise. They're going to rise because now is your time for you to ask yourself, what are the options and who's being pleased? Sometimes we enter ourselves in our pleasure mode. In the pleasure mode, it don't take for the fire sign to be there in the pleasure mode, because the sun is a fire energy. Leo runs the sun. So your alchemy, your sun sign in Leo is already there. So pleasure is automatic when it comes to what the sun represents in our natal chart. So the pleasure is already there. So who is receiving the pleasure out of this? So if you feel like the pleasure needs to be to speak your mind, then why you not obtaining your inner peace off of speaking your mind? Because in your organization, it's coming up that speaking your mind is hindering you in your inner peace. So you might need to reevaluate the speaking the mind part. And sometimes you have to also understand, when you go into these meditations and you seek an inner peace, this inner peace isn't a now thing. It's a future energy. It's not a present energy. It's a future energy. So being that it's a future energy, okay, the future energy is what you don't know of neither. You're trying to fulfill a request in the now, but to grow into inner peace is a future energy. So the things that's above you, the things in your Akashic records, the things to become is also being changed in the format for you to get your guidance to your inner peace. So when you speaking of these things, you must look from a future point of view. When sometimes the future point of view is a fearful point of view, because future don't always let you see the future. So you can just have a physiological point of, this ain't working, this feel uncomfortable, I feel stupid doing this. And that could be the physiological part of it, because the future is not allowing you to see the future. So once again, I done been up here too long, and I gave out the beautiful speeches, but that's the advice when it comes to the Hermit card. That's the best example that I really could give, because and the reason why is because if you're a type of person, you're going to vote, you're voting for some of these things to be there. These are all future events. So just consider, when you into these energies, it's future. And you might see past, but the past is already the past. The past moves quicker than the now. Or instantaneously or spontaneously, the now and the past works together as the future. But you can see the past and the now in yourself, and always could research. That's why we had a word history. You can always research the past quicker than you can determine the future. Alright, so this is me. Like I said, I hope y'all interested. So these type of videos are going to be more on my website, where I feel more comfortable being myself and giving guidance and helping people through. So this is my detail of me showing myself, and it's the beautiful part of Cancer culture. But if people do come and view, thank you all for who do come and view. But this is the real true Peaches. This is how I give advice. This is how my services work. And like I said, there's more to come once I get my website. All right.